It had had a lot of repair work over the years. Things have been done to it that were inappropriate for clockmaking and allowing clocks to run. And so it had to go back to the beginning, to 1878, when they first made this. So we took it out, brought it to our shop, and in the meantime, in talking to Brian and Scott, we suggested, as we've done with a lot of our projects, is it would be nice to move this down low where everyone would have an opportunity to see it. We're in an age now where it's all an electronic age, and kids are finding it's fantastic to see mechanics. It's a teaching tool in the schools. We've had a lot of them go into schools. We've made timepieces like this that have gone into schools. Teachers use it as a teaching tool. They come in, they teach the kids mechanics, physics, mathematics, with gear ratios and so forth, and it becomes a visual teaching tool for them. So in discussing all this with Scott and Brian, they thought, gee, that's really a great idea. So then we began to look at how we could put it, where we would put it, where it would be the most appropriate, and so this is where the final place came to be. Once we got it home, there was a lot of things that we had to do to bring it back to where it was originally when it was built, plus certain things that we had to do because it was going to no longer be up in the tower. Meaning that, for one thing, the pendulum hung from a bracket that was on the wall, a brick wall up there. Well, we couldn't bring the brick wall downstairs and we couldn't put it on this wall, so we had to make a stand for the pendulum to hang on. Being in this situation here where it's through the floor and hanging over the door, the concern came with, well, what should happen if the suspension spring should break and the pendulum would fall. So we had to make a pendulum safety device that would catch it if it should fall. So that is also on the clock. And in getting into it, we saw, well, you've got some dials there that were originally silvered, that most of the silver had come off. Those have been resilvered. We had to make a new statement that the heart of the clock. We had to make a new statement because the old one had been repaired and soldered and welded so many times that it literally fell apart and took the clock apart. So there were a lot of things that had to be done to get it here. Plus we had to make a stand for it to be on because you didn't want it on the floor. So we made this particular stand for it. The weights that were up there were just big chunks of cast iron. One big chunk for the time function, one big chunk for the strike function. So that isn't really the best way to do it for a clock. You want to put enough weight on for it to run and a little bit more to get it through the tough times like the winter and snowstorms, ice storms, etc. So the weight pellets like you see there are the ones that are most ideal. So since we weren't going to bring those weights downstairs,